So starting off with the first question, factor trinomials with a is equal to 1. Let's screenshot this so I can write. All right, so last time we learned how to multiply, like let's just say x plus 1 and then x plus 2. We learned how to multiply this stuff using the FOIL method, and then you would get x squared plus 3x plus 2. I'm not really going to go into detail about that right now, but you went from this way to this way, from factored form into standard form. This time, we are going to go into the reverse. We are given the standard form, and we're going to turn it into factored form. So x plus something or x minus something multiplied by another version of that. So we are going to figure out how to get this guy to look like that guy. Okay, and so for all of these problems, it's kind of like a little trick. This is called the X factor method, and I think it's a method that most students like, so I'll just teach it this way. So you draw an X here, and then you're going to take the number that's right over here, 45, and put it on the top. And then you're going to take the number that's here, 14, and put it on the bottom. Okay, and then you want to think to yourself, what numbers will multiply? I'm just going to write mult for multiply. Multiply to 45 and add to 14. So I'm going to pause the video here and see if you guys can come up with any two numbers that will multiply to 45 and add to 14. So we got some suggestions. We got 5 and 9. I'm going to write the 5 over there, the 9 over here. It doesn't matter if you wrote the 9 first and then the 5. Just know that 5 and 9 are the number combination, is the number combination we want. Okay, so let's double check. 5 plus 9 equals 14. That works because we wanted it to add to 14, so that's good. Let's check, does 5 times 9 equal 45? 5 times 9 equals 45. Yeah, that works. So then what do we do with the 5 and the 9? Literally this, plus 5 plus 9, because it was a positive 5 and a positive 9. So when you put your standard form into factored form, it turned into x plus 5 and then x plus 9. That's where these two numbers went. Okay, so we've successfully factored it. I'm just going to go ahead and enter that in. X plus 5, x plus 9. I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions. Okay, so x plus 5, x plus 9. Okay. All right, and then we're just going to go to the next section. Oh, and then of course, if you need help looking at the example, Deltamath gives you the explanation as well. Okay, so we're going to try this again. Let me draw my x out. So you want to take the number and the n and put it over here, and you want it to multiply to that. And then you want to take the number in the middle and put that on the bottom, and you want it to add to that. So I'm going to pause the video here, see if you guys have suggestions. What will multiply to 5 and add to 6? All right, so somebody suggested 1 times 5. So let's check. 1 times 5, does that equal 5? Yes, because anything times 1 is itself. So that works. And then 1 plus 5, does that equal 6? Yes, so that works also. Okay, so now we know that the two numbers that worked are 1 and 5. So what does that mean? Well, that means you would write it as x plus 1 because it's a positive 1, and then x plus 5 because it's a positive 5. Okay, any questions on this one? All right, so x plus 1, x plus 5. Okay, and then let's go to the next section, because each section is only one problem, so. Okay, draw my x. So we want it to multiply to the last one.
2 and 1.
And add to the bottom, add to the middle number and put that on the bottom. And yes, you are right. 2 and 1. Let's check. 2 times 1, does that equal 2? Yes, because 2 times 1, or anything times 1, is itself, so that's good. Do they add to 3? So 2 plus 1 equals 3. Good. So it's 2 and 1. So when I write my factors, I'm going to put them in parentheses. What should I write in the parentheses? Just the number 2? Or what do I have to have in front?
X plus 1.
Good. Yeah, the first one, you need to put an x plus the number. So x plus 2, and then the other one, x plus 1. Good job. I'm going to pause here, give you guys some time to write and ask questions. So x plus 2, x plus 1, let's go enter that in. X plus 2, x plus 1. And by the way, it's okay if you wrote x plus 1 first. Same thing. X plus 1 times x plus 2 is the same thing as x plus 2 times x plus 1. So if you switch the order of these, it's totally fine. All right. How many have we done? Let me take a look. Okay, we've done 3. Let's do 2 more. All right, so slightly bigger numbers here, but that's totally fine. Okay, so we want it to multiply to the last number, multiply to 60, and we want it to add to the middle number. So I'm going to pause here and see what you guys have as
10
suggestions.
and 6.
Okay, yeah, 6 and 10, 10 and 6, good. 10, 6. Great. Okay, so let me try it out just in case. You never know if we made a little mistake, but let's make sure. 10 times 6, does that equal 60? Yes. So far, so good. What about 10 plus 6? Does that equal 16? Yeah, we're good. So how would I write my factors? What goes in the parentheses?
X plus 6.
And?
X plus 10.
Good. X plus 6, x plus 10. I'm going to pause here so you guys have a little bit of time. So yeah, somebody asked if the order matters. So no, it doesn't. X plus 6, x plus 10 is the same thing as x plus 10, x plus 6. It's like when you multiply two things, it doesn't matter what order they're in because, for example, if I say 3 times 2, that's going to be 6. But also 2 times 3 equals 6. It doesn't matter that I switched the 2 and the 3, right? So when you're multiplying two things, it doesn't matter which one comes first. It will be correct either way. So let's go ahead and enter that in. X plus 6, x plus 10. All right, submit. Okay. So I'm going to try to find something with a negative. I think that would be nice. Wait. Oh, okay. I just clicked the wrong button. Okay, I'm going to go to... I'm just going to click one in like the bottom. Okay, maybe the last one. Also, I have no idea why Google thinks that this is in... It said Filipino language, but whatever. I'm going to click the last one. And cool, we have a negative. So working from the last question now. So if you want to know which question I'm working on here, this is the last one, like the very last problem. Because I wanted to find like slightly harder ones. Okay, so once again, it's the same process. You want it to multiply to the last number, multiply to 12, but this time you see how it's a negative. You want it to add to -8 because there's a minus there, okay? So I'm going to pause the video here and see what you guys have. So we got a suggestion of -2 and -6. Let's try it out. Okay, so let's see. Will they multiply to +12? So if I have -2 and I multiply it by -6, the negative times the negative is a positive, so that's good. And 2 times 6 is 12. So good, it does multiply to +12. Let's check to see if they add to -8. So we have -2 plus -8. Well, since these are both negative numbers, they're going to get, oh, sorry, -2 plus -6. My bad. Since these are both negative numbers, we're going to get also a negative number when you add it together. And in this case, we will get -8. So It fits, it works, good job. Then how do we write it? That person who suggested it also suggested how we write it. X minus 2. This time, instead of adding a number, since we have a negative number, you're going to say x minus 2. And then for the negative 6, you're going to have x minus 6. So then our final answer is x minus 2, x minus 6. Are there any questions on this one? I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, now let me go onto this end. X minus 2, x minus 6. All right, and then I'm going to submit. All right. Okay, so I think we've had quite a few examples. How many did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples. So hopefully that was enough. If it's not, that's totally fine. Just call me over into your breakout room so I can help you out from there. So I'm going to end this recording.